Hey guys, and welcome back to Asknikkip. I'm going to jump into today's question. It says, "Hi Nikki, I need some help with what I should do. I'm a 13-year-old girl and I think I have OCD. I know everyone," she's in quotes, "everyone has a little OCD, but it is starting to interfere a small bit with my life. I researched it and I have a lot of the common symptoms of having obsessive-compulsive disorder. I'm pretty sure I have it. I want to see and talk to a therapist, but I am scared and mostly embarrassed and shy to talk to my parents about it. I know that you might say, just talk to them, but I really can't muster up enough courage and work up the nerve to actually go through with it. This has actually been bothering me for a little bit less than a year maybe. And it even affected me writing this email and not being able to decide my word choice. So that's why some stuff is redundant. I really need some help." Okay, first off, I thought that was a really good email, so bravo to you. Second off, you're 13. It's like a complicated time in your life. I don't know. Actually, I think all of life is complicated because each stage is like a new thing that you haven't experienced before. But I remember being 13, and it's weird figuring out all of your emotions that are popping up and figuring out how you deal in life. You're starting to deal in life as like an adult. I know you're barely a teenager, but it is kind of like you're starting to have more responsibilities and figuring out who you are, not as a kid anymore, but as like I'm a functioning person with responsibilities, is kind of weird and kind of hard. And it is hard to tell, I know, when you're taking things on, like, am I overly stressed? Am I obsessive compulsive? Am I a slacker? Well, how am I supposed to be? I feel like I'm still trying to figure that out. Sometimes I feel like, this is kind of making it all about me, but I'm just thinking out loud. Sometimes I feel like I am the flakiest person ever. And part of me will think, wow, that's pretty true, because you flaked here, you flaked here, you flaked here, you flaked here. But then part of me is like, well, no, but I followed through with this. You know, I followed through on my marriage. I'm still making YouTube videos. I've still got my friends and my relationships. And sometimes you just do something and you realize it's not what you want to do. And there's both sides of it. And it's hard to tell, like, do I really fit in the category? Like, what am I? It's kind of weird. And I think we live in this time right now where we want to put titles on everything. And I am right there with you. I've researched like every disorder that you could like research. I'm like, if I could just find a title, and then there's like a reason, and then there's like a treatment or something I can do or tell myself or whatever. But it's also kind of like a slippery slope. And I do think that that's why I'm going to say exactly what you thought I was going to say. I think you should talk to your parents. And if you absolutely can't muster it, which I think you should push past that, but if you absolutely can't, talking to a school counselor is important, because you can sit there and be embarrassed or nervous about it all you want, and that will literally never solve anything. It'll just be you and WebMD, and you will not know as much as ever as a psychologist who's gone to school or a therapist for it, compared to like your couple of hours of internet research. Yeah, the point of that is you will fall down the rabbit hole of the internet, and you just won't be able to know as much as someone who is professionally trained and schooled in this topic. And it is tempting to self-diagnose. And I was just talking to a friend about this the other day. There is this fine balance. I don't think as a person you want to just be like, everything my doctor says is, from God. Like, they know everything and I know nothing, because there is kind of a level of like taking responsibility for your health, your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health. Like, you have to take responsibility for that. Nobody will ever care as much as you. But there's also a side of like, okay, but these people are adults. They've gone to school for this. They've done a lot of research, like I said, more than you could ever do on WebMD in your room. And it's just important to reach out to other people who know more for help and advice and guidance. So yes, no more self-diagnosing. You could just be a normal 13-year-old, but if something is wrong, that can also, develop more, and it's important to learn how to cope with it and figure out what's going on. So definitely talk to an adult, parent, counselor, someone who can kind of start helping steer you in the right direction. All right, so I'm going to jump into the Twitter question. Let me open this up. Okay, this is really random, but this is good. Okay, if your life was made into a movie, which actors would you want to play you and Dan? I would want Rachel McAdams to be me, and I would want Leonardo DiCaprio to be Dan. That didn't even take literally like any thought. I knew that in an instant. I literally am so excited to hopefully one day meet both of them. Dreaming big, peeps, dreaming big. I really want to meet them both, and I want to have sit down, in-depth conversations about their acting experiences and storytelling. And I think that they're both so immensely talented. Leonardo DiCaprio is my only celebrity crush that I have. Like, he's it. And Rachel McAdams, I'm like female, like obsessed with her. It's like a lesbian crush, not really, but I love her. And she's just, they're just so talented. So definitely Leo and Rachel. All right, that's it. So give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Send your messages and questions to asknikkip@gmail.com or use the hashtag on Twitter, asknikkip, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.